What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trenchgrenade channel. Today we are going to be discussing the 8,000 subscriber Q&A. I had a bunch of y'all about 24 hours ago post a bunch of comments on the community post that I had. Just kind of questions that you guys have as we get this channel kind of growing and as we get this channel kind of kicked off. Today, the drink for the video is going to be a Monster, okay? So cheers, whatever you're drinking, whether you're drinking a beer or a coffee, whatever you got going on, go ahead and pop a cold one with me and let's get it going. Nothing discussed in today's video should be taken as legal advice or as a substitute for legal advice. Always remember the 4 rules of firearm safety. Treat your weapon as if it is loaded at all times. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you're ready to engage. Be aware of your target and its surroundings, and never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy. The Discord server is live. Get in there, get some gaming buddies and some buddies to train with. The Patreon is live. It is the only source of funding for the channel. If you're interested in it, get over there and check out the Patreon. We could sure use your help. Thanks. All right. So today we have my cameraman, Trench Wife or whatever. So she's going to be reading the questions and we'll just kind of roll through here.
Okay.
Hit me with it.
What got you into guns and gear?
What got me into guns and gear? So my dad was a cop for, I think, 16 years. He was a beat cop. He did all the stuff. And growing up, he always told me, if you ever want to, go shooting, just let me know. Just never touch the guns when I'm not home. And he always encouraged me to kind of ask, okay, can I check out the guns or whatever? And no matter how busy he was, he would always take me down to the safe, show me whatever guns. And because of him, my first 2 guns were a Glock 23 and a Remington 870. So at the time, the 40 cal was kind of the thing, especially because that's what he carried as a cop. So that's what got me into guns. We did all the airsofting stuff, like before Milsom West was a thing. We'd go out and do airsoft and stuff like that. So.
What's the most important gear I should prioritize getting? Top 5 or 10 essentials?
If you're getting, so for gear, so first thing you need, very first thing is your everyday carry handgun. In 2023, we're not in a full-scale war here domestically. So the first thing you need is a handgun. After you have your EDC handgun, I recommend a Glock 19. You're going to need a rifle. So a good rifle. On that rifle, you're going to need a good sighting system. I recommend a red dot sight with a magnifier. So that's kind of like you're just beginning. After that, you need a way to carry magazines. So I'm rocking a Haley Strategic DC3RX out here. You need a way to carry more medical and ammo to the fight and stuff like that. So a good chest rig. Once you have a good chest rig, now we're freaking starting to look at it. So you need a way to mount night vision. So you're going to need at some point either a bump helmet or a ballistic helmet. You choose what you need. Just make sure you know what you're getting into. And lastly, you're going to need a good belt. Okay, so you're going to need a good battle belt or something to carry your handgun overtly in a overt setting or a wartime setting. That way you can quickly access your handgun, and you obviously have access to your ammo and your medical on your freaking chest rig. All right, guys, a little bit to add to that last question. What are the top 5 things that you should get? So I think if money is tight, after you have your go-to handgun, your Glock 19 and your AR or whatever you choose, and you get your Haley Strategic rig or whatever rig you choose to fight with, magazines and ammo and training are going to be better than buying a bunch of Gucci gear. So after you get your freaking handgun and your rifle, get a freaking chest rig and magazines and training, because assuming you already have your concealed carry holster, then you should be good to go. You can at least be dangerous.
All right. For general purposes, rifles with a zoom capability, which do you prefer? Red dot, hollow sight with magnifier, or LPVO?
Okay. So, guys, I have done the journey of LVPO. I've gotten into LVPOs. Obviously, I have one on my bolt gun, but I have since gotten away from them because they are heavy. In my opinion, a red dot with the EOTech magnifier that you can take on and off the back, that is the meta for 2023, is to be able to move very quickly with the lightest gun you can have, and and then be able to put that magnifier on when you need it and take it off when you don't need it. So I am definitely a quality red dot sight, preferably with something a little bit higher of a mount for your nods, and then a EOTech 3x magnifier. I stay away from LVPOs. I think they're too bulky, and I think the average person, 0 to 300 is going to be where you're fighting. 0 to 300 meters, you can engage out to 500 with a red dot, but that's where that magnifier comes in.
For night vision, do you train more with IR laser or aiming down a sight?
So for work, you do a lot of active aiming with a laser. For civilian use, shout out to my buddy Pseudo Actual. For civilian use, I think you need to be really careful. Just going out there and just activating that freaking IR, because a lot of civilians are going to be using nods. Additionally, a lot of cameras can pick up IR signature. So I do think it is mandatory to have an IR laser. The reason being, if you're a guy like me running PVS 14 White Phos Gen 2s, it is going to be necessary for you to have some sort of IR illuminator. So that way when you go into that super dark room or that super dark area, you can just kick on the IR illuminator if you need to for a second to sweep and turn it off. So that is my advice. It is more fun to train with an IR illuminator, but you should train with your red dot too, and make sure you can actually index your red dot with your PVS 14 on your dominant eye.
What 0 do you use for NV shooting, and what distance, parallel or converging?
0. Okay, so don't overthink this. This is why when you go out and buy your first laser aiming module, or your freaking your red dot, right? Make sure when you go out and buy your red dot and your IR laser, make sure it has a vis laser. That way, when the sun is going down, you literally just go outside with your rifle, turn on the vis laser at whatever range you want it to be directly accurate, and then you're going to have to either add or drop in other ranges, if that makes sense. So for me, I do 50 meters because I got to kind of take into account, okay, PID, positive identification of your target, under night vision is going to be harder once you get out to 100 meters. Once you get out to 150 meters, it's going to be really hard to even positively identify somebody. But from 0 to 50, okay, I got that that perfect freaking 0. Now, a quick caveat on that: you have to make sure that your IR and your vis laser are actually going to be going to the same. They're going to be going to the same spot. Okay, so on some laser aiming modules, they go to a different spot, you know. So make sure your vis laser and your IR laser are actually converging at the same spot. If that's the case, turn on that vis laser, either 50 meters or 100 meters, whichever one works for you. When the sun's going down, go outside, look through your red dot, and just have your buddy move that dot, so that way they're what we call lollipopped, and you're good to go. Then go out and confirm 0. And if say you're 0 to 50 meters, at 100 meters, you're just going to do the lasso effect. Do a figure 8 on them as you're shooting them, okay? What that's going to do, that lasso effect on them and that figure 8, you're going to hit them somewhere on their person. Good question.
What do you recommend as a zeroing procedure for IR devices if you have access to an outdoor range that is daytime only?
Same thing. If all you have is daytime only, call them in advance. Say, hey, I'm trying to zero my IR device. Is it cool if I come at dusk? And tell them what you're trying to do. Turn on your vis laser, 0, and then right as the sun goes down, do a quick confirm 0, and you're good.
I usually carry a 308 in my pack with my 5.56 as my main carry, but I have been thinking of just using a 6.5 Grendel upper to save weight. Any advice would help, and thanks.
I stay away from the battle rifle cartridges because they're heavy. Today I'm rocking a KP9 with 6 magazines plus 1 in the gun and a handgun, okay? Guys, weight is going to be crucial. You're going to have to pick and choose. Am I bringing body armor? If I'm bringing body armor, guess what? Every single ounce that you're carrying, you're going to hate. So just keep in mind, I stay away from battle rifles. If you are rocking a battle rifle, say you're rocking a Scar Heavy or any type of 308 rifle, you better be in the gym and you better be out there patrolling, actually walking in the woods with all your gear on for miles. Because I think the first thing you're going to do is be like, this thing is heavy, and I don't think you're going to like it. Yeah, if you hit somebody, they're dead. But you got to pick and choose. So that's up to you, buddy. But for me, if I was you, I'd stay with 308.
Have you shot the new 6.8 cartridge? If so, what are your thoughts?
I have not shot it. My thoughts on it are, I'm not going to comment because I am still active duty. I like 5.56 though.
What rations would you carry with you in a bug out bag?
MREs. So, and then as you come across places, okay, MREs, or I would say freeze dried meals, the Mountain House meals. If you have a freaking jet boil, you really can't go wrong with it. So freeze dried meals, MREs. As you are coming across freaking doing whatever you're doing in your bug out, you're gonna need to start collecting up stuff. Here's the reality of a bug out situation. You need to go out. You need to put your wet weather gear on, or wet weather gear in the bag. You need to put your extra socks in the bag. You need to put all the water, all the ammo you're going to carry, all the stuff that you're going to carry. And then you're going to realize, again, this shit is fucking heavy. How far can I realistically move? Okay, how much food? And if you're bringing your family with you, which you should be, how far can they move? Are they going to get sick? Are they in shape to move? So for your bug out situation, I would have freeze-dried meals and MREs and basic stuff on hand, but just be realistic about bugging out, okay? Don't get crazy about it. If there's a situation like a down train in your town, right, and that train has toxic chemicals and everyone in the town starts, you like what happened here recently, yeah, that's the kind of situation you need to have enough food to be able to bug out mobily and hopefully be able to sustain you and have a couple bags in the vehicle. That way when you get to as far as you can mobily in that vehicle, you can walk. But freeze-dried meals from Mountain House, MREs, and just freaking field strip those MREs, take out all the useless shit, pack them all into the one outer bag, and there you go. Now you're good on ration.
Any videos on basic level infantryman tactics / small unit tactics?
I'm going to be making a bunch. Go to the Ranger Handbook. The Ranger Handbook is literally public information. You can Google it. It has everything you need to know. Obviously, I'm 11 Bravo for the past 10 years, so I've been brainwashed. But everything we do is out of the Ranger Handbook. How to set up a linear ambush, how to set up an L-shaped ambush, how to freaking conduct a raid, how to conduct a squad movement to contact, how to patrol. Everything is in the Ranger Handbook. I'm not a Ranger, but I study the Ranger Handbook, and everything you do, either airborne infantry or mechanized infantry, regardless of the unit you go to, will be out of the Ranger Handbook. Even if you're a freaking drill sergeant, guess what? POI is established off the Ranger Handbook.
I saw a how-to on YouTube about building assembly of your own tubes as a cost-saving measure. This guy seemed legit and had some cool science behind his method.
I'm sure he's a good guy. But let's talk about the good guy rule. Guys, if you've been any job you've ever had, and the first thing they say is, oh, he's a good guy, but just disregard that he's a good guy. I'm sure that guy has the best intentions trying to get people. Listen, you buy once, you cry once. Get out there and buy what you need. It's your life. What is your life worth? Is your life worth some guy like me on the internet telling you things? Take the good, leave the bad. Take the good info that gentleman is spreading, leave the bad. Now you know how to make them, but just go buy some freaking nods. Okay, once you're financially stable enough, and you're ready for that part of your, I guess, preparation journey or training journey, buy some freaking white phosphorus Gen 2 or Gen 3 nods.
How do you stay fit and healthy? Any recommendations to avoid bodily injury? Ibuprofen.
Every day stretch. Every day drink water. I have a whole video on this with Big Will. Take your creatine every day. Take your protein every day. And 5 to 6 days out of the week, you should be in the gym doing 20 minutes of cardio and an hour of strength training. Watch our video on Become Violently Athletic. PT is the cornerstone of your life.
Favorite barrel length for the AR platform?
Okay, so 16-inch, honestly. Either 14.5 or 16. What is my favorite to shoot? 10.5. What is the most effective? Freaking 16 and on. Tons of guys have been killed by 14.5s, though, in the past 20 years. But that's with M855 and M855 Alpha 1. I would recommend 16-inch. If you are watching this, you plan on that being your main squeeze rifle, get a 16-inch. You'll thank me later. It's going to be soft shooting. You can suppress it. Yeah, it's going to be long, but now it's going to be super freaking quiet, super low muzzle flash, and you're going to thank me. I mean, now you're getting all that velocity. The 16-inch is a freaking awesome barrel length.
Thoughts on SIG Romeo red dots, specifically the Romeo 5, Romeo Okay.
Excellent for the price. It's not just as good. It's not going to beat your aim point. It's not going to beat. It's not going to beat your aim point. But I own. Is this a? There's a Holosun 500 series 503. But I own like 5 freaking Sig Romeo 5s. Here's the thing: when you're actually training with the guns, okay, you don't want to be having to pull off your freaking aim point and put it on another gun. You don't want to have to be pulling off your EOTech and putting it on the gun you want to shoot with. It's better to have all your guns set up. 3 of them are Gucci, and 4 of them have either a Holosun or a freaking Sig Romeo 5. I think it's Hoplophile from TFB TV. He has a good video on the Sig Romeo 5. I don't think you can beat it. If you were balling on a budget, you need to buy 5,000 rounds of ammo, but you need a freaking optic. The Sig Romeo 5 is awesome. It is awesome. You get every penny that you're buying. I guess shout out to Sig. It is not a sponsor. We don't have any sponsors, but yeah, it's the Sig Romeo 5 is freaking. Do not hesitate. I am really dumb, and half the time I open my safe, guns are falling out everywhere, and I'm catching them. But they get bumped into each other all the time in the safe. I don't care. They're all scuffed up. They work fine. They hold 0. They're not an aim point, but they work fine.
I'm looking to get a PVS 14 this year. How is shooting with pistols and is IR laser on a rifle 100% needed?
Yes, if you want an IR laser, because yes, it's not. So when you get into a super dark area where there's no illumination at all, guess what? You're gonna need a way to freaking put an IR illuminator in there. Even if you're using your freaking passive aiming through your red dot, which is really hard sometimes. But if you're finding that red dot but you can't see, shooting an IR illuminator in that corner or in that room just for a second is awesome. Like, it's a superpower, guys. You need a good one. The Holosun makes the 321G, which is like $800. Has a freaking vis laser and an IR illuminator. I went with the D-Ball A3. It works great. I have a green vis laser and the IR illuminator on there that is slaved to it. It is awesome. You definitely do. If you're shooting NVG with PVS 14, I highly recommend you have a IR freaking illuminator and an IR laser. Did I miss any part of his question? Okay.
Oh, how is shooting with pistols?
Pistols is good if you have a good red dot. This is the Holosun EPS. It's awesome. Okay. If you have a good red dot, you're going to be fine. You just turn the brightness down on the red dot. The Holosun EPS works great for night vision shooting. The mailbox. It's a mailbox site. Cheers.
When you rattle canned your helmet, did it affect the function of the Velcro at all?
I taped the Velcro with painter's tape.
I guess just give advice for
tape. When you buy your ops core or whatever, I guess they can see. I don't know if they can see it.
Yeah.
Tape up the Velcro that you want to keep Velcro, and tape up whatever thing you want to keep, whatever color, and then just paint it. Less is more. Okay, 3 to 5 inches away. Less is more. I'm actually going to repaint this thing here whenever I get time. We're probably going to go with the dang, you'll see. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, paint your helmet, guys. It makes it yours. This is a damn $2,500 helmet. I don't care. It's my helmet, so I want it to be to my needs, right? So do what you're going to do. But yes, paint your helmet. Painter's tape over the Velcro.
Thoughts on home-built scrim for helmets?
Oh,
fabric,
man. My buddy
patterns,
Risky
color?
Krisky. So scrim for helmets. My thoughts on scrim for helmets. Risky Krisky uses it. It's a vibe. Makes you look like a dang World War II British paratrooper. I don't do it. I'm in the field. I'm in the camp like Blue Jean Operator as well. Shout out. I'm in the camp where just paint it, make it yours. You can repaint it. It gives your helmet some life. It gives it like your personality. I know I'm getting really deep right here, but paint your helmet however you want. Is my opinion, with some ultra matte or whatever it is, ultra flat. That is ultra flat Rust-Oleum, and that way you can change it and it gives it some personality. You can probably see on my helmet I have this crazy indent of gray. That's from shooting ACOG like thousands and thousands of rounds in my career shooting ACOG, and that eye relief hit me in the face. So that, a little bit of TBI or something there, but vertigo. But yeah, make your helmet yours. Good question.
Would building an airsoft Glock 17 to train with when I can't make it to the range be a good investment?
No. dry fire with your actual Glock 17, because you want to trust that gun, and you want to be intimate with that gun. Everything that the weapon is going to do, you want to know. So just save your money, buy an extra 500 rounds instead of buying that airsoft gun, and dry fire with your actual handgun. Try to do 10 minutes a day to 20 minutes a day. If you have the time, try to get out there and dry fire every day.
If you only have a PVS 7, is it good enough?
Oh, man. PVS 7s are typically Gen 2s. If it's green FOSS, you're going to need an IR illuminator. You're going to need an IR illuminator on your gun. But I would rather take you and your PVS 7 with your freaking IR illuminator and some training, you with 1,000 reps through that gun, than some dude with freaking quad nods, but he'd never been to the range. So it all comes down to training. If you know exactly what your high-speed PVS 7s are going to do, and every time you activate that freaking illuminator, you're freaking rocking with it, then keep it and train with it.
When will Monster Energy come out with energy crayons for the cores?
Oh, the core?
Yeah.
I don't freaking know. I'm not a Marine. I don't. Marines, y'all are extra. Okay, I'm an Army dude. Y'all are extra.
Do you see a draft happening if the Army can't make recruitment quotas?
Can't comment on that. It's 2023. It's gonna be really hard to enslave people in 2023, though. Can't comment on that, though.
What size helmet do you wear?
I don't fucking know. Small, I think, or small.
You got a big head.
Small. It's a small.
It's a
if you catch an op score on sale, and you can adjust the pads. So this is a small, I believe. I just adjusted the pads. If you're airborne and you're gonna be jumping in the helmet, it needs to be according to your SOP for your unit. But if you're a civilian and you catch an op score on sale, within reason, as long as you think it'll fit, buy it and just adjust the inside helmet pads. Okay. This thing was on sale. It was bright tan, like almost white, and I immediately painted it. So get a helmet when you can afford it, when your base stuff is covered, your rifle, your mag, stuff like that.
I don't.
You're gonna have to speak up. They ain't gonna be able to hear you.
Yeah. Did you juju on the beat? I don't know what that means.
I think he's asking about a cop. A cop? No, I was never a cop. That's next question.
If you were forced at gunpoint, what's your drug of choice?
My drug of choice? Alcohol. Next.
How do you think the war in Ukraine will play out? I don't think you
can. There's no easy way out of this one. The whole world is, got their eyes on Ukraine. Okay. Russia is not going to stop. Okay. Unless China basically coerces them and pays them to stop, they're not going to stop, because Vladimir Putin is trying to rebuild the Soviet Union. So this is his last-ditch attempt in his life to rebuild the Soviet Union. So he's putting all his freaking marbles on the table, everything in this freaking fight. I don't see it ending positively. So I think now is the time to get training, a community of guys and gals that you trust. You want 9 to 12 people in your community minimum, same caliber, same everything. You need to prepare. You need to be in the gym. You need to prepare today. I can't stress that enough.
12 gauge LARP ammo loadout minimum.
Oh, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is whatever. That's how many shells you want. An S tag. One on the left side of the gun, one on the right side of the gun. So that's what? What are we up to now? 7 times 7 is what, 49? I don't know. Don't do math in public. Plus the gun's loaded. Then you're going to have a ton of extra S-tag things in your pack. Dude, it's going to be heavy. You're looking at least 100 shells of double-aught buck. It's going to be heavy. You're going to hate your life. But if you're running a shotgun, you need to go do some squats and some deadlifts. Okay.
What makes grass grow?
The infantry. Okay. Blood for the grass god. Next.
For PVS 14, do you run it on your dominant eye or the non-dominant eye, and why?
If you want to do passive aiming, dominant. In the Army, without getting too deep into it, for years we were always told non-dominant eye for night vision, dominant eye. That way, when you go into the building, okay, you go into the building and you freaking come across white light, you just use your dominant eye and you close your non-dominant eye, and then when it transitions back, you open your non-dominant eye. If that makes sense. I use PVS 14s on my dominant eye because I want to be able to transition from my red dot to my laser.
What happens when someone throws a flare?
You need to stop and get down. By throws a flare, I am assuming what you mean up in the sky, like shoots off a flare. That you do what's called a freeze or a halt. You need to get down because they're probably going to rake you with machine gun fire.
Because you're in the Army, you do not think it's necessary to train on the P320 as well.
Training is training. I used to own a P320. I competed with the P320. I have videos on my channel competing with the P320. Training is training. Slack out of the trigger, perfect sight picture, slow press. You do that with your Glock, it's the same thing as doing it with your P320. Get training. Guys, and I'm not, don't even read their name. This isn't an attack on this person. I think a lot of these questions, if you get to the range and you freaking train, you'll be like, man, I'm confident in my gear. I can pick up any striker fired handgun, take the slack out, get a good perfect sight picture, and slowly pull the trigger, and you're going to be hitting with a good proper grip.
What's your go-to weapons? You can only have 2 the rest of your life. I said weapons is like a whole, not like just guns.
2 weapons the rest of my life.
You're pretty good at throwing axes.
Let's do, so we'll do one for right now, peacetime. If I had to have 2 weapons for just peacetime, man, this is hard. I'm probably going to choose a 16-inch AR with a red dot and a magnifier with a D-ball A3 and a white light, probably from Daniel Defense. And then I'm going to choose a Glock 19. This is a Shadow Systems DR920L. Probably going to choose a Glock 19 Gen 3 with a white light, and that would probably be it for wartime. For wartime, I would probably pick 2 of the same rifle, 2 of the exact same rifle build, or no, I'll even take that back. I would take a 10.5-inch Mark 18 and the same 16-inch build, built out the same way with a freaking red dot and a magnifier. That way I can change between short missions and long missions. Guys, for a military application, you're going to be surprised. You're never going to use your handgun, like almost ever. The times that you do use your handgun, the stories of people using their handgun, they were out of ammo. They had a catastrophic malfunction. They were down. Most guys, if you ask them in the infantry, they would rather carry an extra 6 magazines than any handgun at all for their rifle.
So no knife?
No.
For the rest of your life?
That's not a weapon. That's a tool.
For the rest of your life, you're not going to use... How are you going to cut your steak?
Hey, that's a tool. That's not a... Next question.
How shot out are military M4s?
They're not. Next question.
How do I tell if my girlfriend's a Fed?
Check out the Discord down below, guys. We game all the time. Just make sure you know that you're talking to... It's a relatively public forum. There'll be signs, though. Don't start dating somebody that doesn't have political beliefs that you have. That's what I'll say on that, okay? If you can't bring a body home and be like, we need to hide this thing, then she's not for you.
That's it.
Oh, okay, guys. Thanks for being here. This was kind of a long video, but I felt like I owed my followers this because we're past 8,000 subscribers. Things are growing. The channel is growing. We have a good community in the Discord. We have a good community that we're developing for training. Some spoilers. We have a 4-part series with Risky Krisky coming up. If you didn't know, now you know. Risky Krisky and I are going to be doing a bunch of night vision shooting, a bunch of night vision content. And I'm not going to spoil the other 3 videos, but it's going to be a great time. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to that in the next, I'd say next 10 days or so. You're going to see a 4-part series coming out with me and Risky Krisky. Discord is live. Check it out if that's your thing. The Patreon is live. That is the only source of funding for the channel. That is the only source of funding. So if you like this content, please, if it's your thing and you can afford it, please get down there and give me a couple bucks. I would greatly appreciate it. That is what kind of motivates me to get out here and do whatever I can to spread whatever knowledge I do have to y'all, okay? Thanks for being here. Until next time, there's going to be Trench Grenade and Trench Life. Okay, signing out. Cheers.
Bye.